portraits of great kings and queens to the daily lives of humble peasants. And on the front cover we have a big illustration from painting of Henry VIII. So let's take a look inside. There's various illustrations we have, and at the top here we have a triptych of the royal arms. A man in historical dress as a Tudor nobleman. The Great Bible of 1539. A pestle and mortar. A roasted peacock at the bottom. And here is Mary, Queen of Scots' Rosary and Prayer Book. A thumbscrew, not very pleasant. And even worse, maybe, a beheading sword. And on this side we have a Tudor noblewoman. So the contents are the Tudor dynasty, the first Tudor, Tudor England, food and feasting, the court of Henry VIII, a harsh life, the art of war, Henry VIII's wives, conflict with Rome, the Reformation, Tudor childhood, Bloody Mary, Elizabeth I, Tudor costume, a golden age, trade and exploration, the Queen of Scots, the Armada, Tudor London, Tudor entertainment, and end of an era. So I'm going to start with the Tudor dynasty. And here is the Tudor royal family tree. Starting with Henry VII, 1485 to 1509, and his sons Arthur, Henry VIII, Margaret, and Mary. In 1485, a new family or dynasty of rulers seized the throne of England. From 1399 to 1455, England had been ruled by the Lancaster family, but then fighting broke out with the York family in the Wars of the Roses. The Tudors inherited the Lancastrian claim when most of the Lancaster family was killed. In 1485, Henry Tudor defeated the Yorkist King Richard III and became King Henry VII. The Tudors ruled till 1603. Now here we have a picture of John of Gaunt. Henry Tudor claimed the throne through his mother, a great-granddaughter of the Duke of Lancaster, John of Gaunt, who was the son of King Edward III. And this illustration down here represents the War of the Roses, the 30-year-long Wars of the Roses between the royal households of Lancaster and York, finally ended when the Lancastrian claimant, Henry Tudor, defeated and killed the Yorkist King, Richard III, at the Battle of Bosworth on the 22nd of August, 1485. Both the Lancastrian and Yorkist armies were supplemented by paid soldiers or mercenaries. More than 80 nobles lost their lives during the War of the Roses. So this here is one of the 10 battles of the War of the Roses. 17,000 pieces of stained glass make up the rose window. The Wars of the Roses were named after the emblems used by the royal houses of Lancaster and York, a red rose for Lancaster and a white rose for York. After becoming king, Henry Tudor married Elizabeth of York, uniting the two rival houses. Henry combined the white rose of York with the red rose of Lancaster to make a new emblem, the Tudor rose. The Great Rose Window in York Minster commemorates this union and the new dynasty. Now, this castle, this is Pembroke Castle in Wales, the Welsh connection. Henry Tudor was born here at Pembroke Castle, Wales in 1457. He had only a distant claim to the throne, but increasingly seen as a threat to the throne. He was sent to France for his own safety in 1471. Henry returned to Wales to claim his throne in 1485, and most of his troops at Bosworth were Welsh. It is probable that he had spent only a few weeks in total in England before he became its king. So of Henry VII's sons, it was his second son Henry, after the death of his first son Arthur, became Henry VIII. He had 3 children, Mary I, Elizabeth I, and Edward VI. And directly descended from Margaret, Henry's first daughter, was Mary Queen of Scots and James I or VI of Scotland, and from Mary, Lady Jane Grey. The first Tudor, Elizabeth of York, and Henry VII. Henry VII was a shrewd man who, having seized the throne by force, kept it through the subtle use of royal power and strong government. He built up the nation's finances and trade, and largely kept England out of foreign wars. When he died in 1509, England was the most peaceful and prosperous it had been for half a century. Henry's queen, Elizabeth of York, was the sister of Edward V. He was deposed before he could be crowned and probably murdered in 1483. Her marriage to Henry was both a political match, uniting the two houses of York and Lancaster, and also a love match. They had 8 children. Royal impostors. During Henry's reign, 2 men tried to seize power with Yorkist support. Lambert Simnel, who claimed to be a nephew of Edward IV, and Perkin Warbeck, who claimed to be a brother of Elizabeth of York. Both were crushed. Securing peace. Flags, like this one, were used to rally knights and soldiers on the battlefield to break the power of the Henry's death. Henry died in April 1509 and was buried in Westminster Abbey, as were all Tudor monarchs except Henry VIII. Respected as a king, he was not loved. At his funeral, Bishop John Fisher said, "King Henry, if thou were alive again, many one that is here present now would pretend full great pity and tenderness upon thee." So let's take a look at Tudor England. In 1500, England's population was 2.6 million. London was the only big city. Most people lived in market towns or rural areas. Tudor society was divided into three main classes: a tiny nobility, a professional and middle class, and a big working class of craftsmen, farm workers, labourers and servants. Hard labour. The vast majority of people in Tudor England were agricultural labourers or husbandmen on farms owned by wealthy landowners. A few were yeoman farmers, owning a small plot of land which they worked as a family business. This is the farmer's wife. On top of her household chores, a hard-working farmer's wife had to make butter, cheese and beer, collect eggs and fruit, make clothes for her family, and sell any excess produce. The wool trade. The export of woolen cloth to Europe was the most valuable overseas trade, rising by more than 60% under Henry VII. Most farmers therefore kept sheep, leading to a shortage of crops. This is a pitchfork, and this is a scythe. Farming the land. Tudor farmers grew wheat, barley, oats, peas, beans and root crops. They also kept cattle, pigs and poultry, and worked the land by hand, ploughing the fields with teams of oxen or horses and making their own tools. And down here we have the houses. Houses had wooden frames filled in with whitewashed brick or thin wood. Market towns were the focal point of rural life. They were a meeting place for farmers, traders and craft workers, selling and exchanging their goods from across the country. Merry England. Weddings were celebrated with great gusto. Guests contributed food and drink to the feast and brought their own musical instruments. A good wedding party could continue for days. The middle class. Landowners, merchants and professionals, such as lawyers, served in the government, enforced the law as justices of the peace, and sat in Parliament. Many lived in small manor houses, on their estates or in townhouses. Noble houses. This is Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire. The nobility lived in ancestral castles or in later years, country houses with dozens of bedrooms. One such house was Hardwick Hall, built as a display of wealth and hailed as more class than wall because of its huge windows. Glass windows were a recent and very expensive innovation when Hardwick Hall was built in the 1590s. This is a middle-class man. He could afford small luxuries such as this fur-panelled overcoat. And beards became fashionable after the reign of Henry VIII. This is a crystal wine glass presented to Elizabeth I. Easy eating. Even in the noblest house, food was cut up with a knife and then eaten with the fingers. Forks were not introduced until the end of the 16th century. Silver spoons. The poor used wooden spoons, but rich people had spoons of pewter or silver. These might be engraved with the family coat of arms as a way to display their wealth and status in society. Some people carried their own spoons about with them. Hence the phrase, born with a silver spoon in your mouth. The stylish spice. Spices from the Americas and Eastern Asia were used to season sweet and savoury food and wine, ale and other drinks. One of the highest priced and most fashionable spices was nutmeg. This is a nutmeg grater, and that's a whole nutmeg. Trenchers. At Elizabethan banquets, diners used ornate little trenchers or square plates for pastries and other delicacies, then read or sang the verse printed on the back. The court of Henry VIII. Henry VIII succeeded his father, Henry VII, in 1509, aged 17. A flamboyant figure, he hoped to make a splash in Europe through both war and diplomacy. He made his court a hub of intellectual and artistic activity and enjoyed sports, music and dancing, and lavish banquets. Henry's extravagance wasted much of the money his prudent father had saved. And here he is. This is a portrait of Henry VIII by Hans Holbein, 1537. Kingly stature. The young king stood 193 centimetres or 6 foot 3 inches tall, with broad shoulders, fair skin and red hair. He was highly intelligent, wrote books on theology and revelled in intellectual debate. A lifetime of eating and drinking heavily took its toll, however, and in later years he became so fat that special machines were needed to haul him upstairs or onto his horse. Now this is Henry VIII's signature here. Current affairs. The Dutch scholar Desiderius Erasmus wrote extensively on religious affairs and education and visited Henry's court. Thomas Wolsey in his red cardinal's robes. The king's first adviser was Cardinal Wolsey, as Chancellor of England from 1515. He ran the affairs of state for Henry with great skill and made a fortune. He fell out of favour in 1529, but died before he could be tried for treason. The Renaissance in England. This painting is called The Ambassadors by Hans Holbein, 1533. Henry VIII outshone his father in bringing Renaissance learning to England. This masterpiece by sporting life. Henry loved sport, especially jousting. Jousting tournaments were held at court on major holy days and other special occasions. The scene above shows Henry jousting before his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, in 1512 to celebrate the birth of his first son. Sadly, the baby died at just 3 months old. Hunting and hawking. This is a hooded falcon. When Henry was not jousting, he hunted stags all summer or hawked with falcons in winter. In 1526, the chronicler Edward Hall wrote that because all this summer the king took his pastime in hunting, nothing happened worthy to be written of. Foreign policy. After invading France in 1513, Henry made peace and married his sister Mary to the French king, Louis XII. More years of war followed until 1520, when Henry and the new king, Francis I, agreed to sign a treaty of friendship. They met at the Field of the Cloth of Gold, named after the richly decorated tents erected there. 2 years later, they were at war again. A harsh life. For most people in Tudor England, life was far from easy. An array of deadly diseases threatened to cut life short. Medicine was primitive, and the average life expectancy was only about 35 years. For those who fell foul of the law, punishment was cruel, and serious crimes often incurred torture and execution. Brief childhood. Out of every 100 Tudor babies born, only 70 reached their first birthday, and only 50 saw the age of 5. Typhus, smallpox, and other deadly diseases were a constant threat. The plague. The boils of plague victims were cauterized with this instrument here, with a red-hot iron, but the plague was untreatable and could be contained only by isolating the affected and leaving them to die. Marjoram to ease bruises and swellings, and feverfew for headaches and childbirth. Lemon balm for most ailments and illnesses, and lungwort to treat chest disorders. So these are medicinal herbs. A wide range of herbs were used in medicine. Some were fanciful, but many, such as lemon balm, are still used today. Herbalists played a similar role to present-day doctors. And this here is a pomander, which contains aromatic herbs. lances were a major preoccupation, and the art of warfare developed considerably. Traditional longbows, lances and swords gave way to firearms, and forts now had to withstand the new firepower of cannons. So in the middle here we see a suit of armour. It's got reinforced breastplate for protection against blade and shot, and hinged plates to allow the knees to bend, and the armour was made of steel. The Battle of Flodden. In 1513, James IV of Scotland invaded England after Henry VIII attacked France, an ally of the Scots. He was killed at Flodden, along with most of the Scottish nobility. In 1542, his son James V invaded England. His army was also defeated. Shipbuilding. Henry VIII's demand for a modern, powerful navy led to the world's first dry dock at Deptford on the River Thames. Hundreds of shipwrights built hulls of oak from the forests surrounding London. Now this is the unlucky Mary Rose. The pride of Henry VIII's navy was the Mary Rose, built in 1509-10. One of the most advanced ships of its time, it was believed that no town in the world could withstand its firepower of 207 guns. But in 1545, in a sudden gust of wind, the ship capsized and sank, drowning 470 men. Two bows. Before the Tudor age, the traditional weapon of the English was the longbow. Its steel-tipped arrows could reach their target from up to 90 metres or 100 yards away. By the early 1500s, the crossbow was being used more often. Loaded by a mechanical device, it achieved an even greater range and accuracy. And here it is. South Coast defences. In the late 1530s, England faced the threat of France and the Holy Roman Empire, made up of the different Germanic territories acting together to reimpose Catholicism. Henry VIII strengthened England's defences by building 5 forts on the south coast, including this one at Deal in Kent. Now this armour was made in 1587 at the workshops set up by Henry VIII in Greenwich. Suits of armour were costly and only the nobility could afford them. They were useful in close combat fighting as protection against hand-to-hand weapons. By the late Tudor period, the increasing use of firearms led to a decline in full body armour. So other weapons were this, a piercing weapon, a 16th century sword. As firearms increased in power, handheld weapons such as pikes and lances became less effective in battle, but swords were still used in close combat fighting. And here we have gunpowder and an ornate wheel-lock pistol, arming the troops. During the 1500s, mounted soldiers began to use pistols in place of lances. Wheel-lock pistols worked in all weathers and could be fired with one hand, unlike the earlier matchlocks. The flintlocks of the 1600s would be even more efficient. And finally, Henry's navy. Henry VIII was the first king to keep a permanent navy. Before him, monarchs hired ships from private owners when the need arose. shall see